Good morning, everyone. So we'll start our session for today. We'll combine this with some conceptual background as well as some hands-on. So we'll continue from where we left off in the slides yesterday. So is my voice clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So this is where we were yesterday. So we were trying to extract the email address from the email headers in a text file containing all the emails. Now, let us do this at our idle prompt. Okay, so let us do some of this. So let's first take that this is our string of interest. So our string of interest is this. So let me define some, first let's import the RE package. So we'll do this at the Python console. So import RE, that is the library for the regular expressions. Let us first define the string that we'll be using for the rest of the class. So that string is s is equal to, and let's say from, and give your own email address here. Okay, and then we also have, let's say this is Tuesday, and then December, and let's say what is today's date? 08, and then 08 colon, let's say 49, and let's say 01, and this is 2020. All right, so this is fine. So this is our string to define. So we'll be working with this string. So first thing is, let's try what we have on this slide. We were approximately on this slide yesterday, slide number 24. So we continue from here. You can also try, let's go from here. Shall we do it from here? Using both the greedy matching, non-greedy matching. 1 second. Let's say, all right. Let's do it from here. All right, so let's do it from here. So the key part in any pattern matching is to construct the pattern first. Okay, so in the regular expressions, whatever pattern we are trying to match for, the pattern should be carefully constructed using the meta characters that is available to us. So we want to extract this particular email address, and therefore let's define a pattern variable, and let's say the pattern variable is equal to what is it? The non-white space character at least once, followed by a @ symbol, followed by another set of non-white space character at least once. Okay, and this is my pattern. And now I say re.findAll. That is from the regular expression package. I use the find all and I say search for the pattern in the string. Okay, and let's see what happens now. And you see that the email address is neatly extracted. Okay, now suppose I want only the numbers here. Okay, let's say pat underscore num, and we did this yesterday. So numbers will be 0 to 9 at least once. Okay, and so that is what our numbers are, and so we will end it here. And now let's say re.findAll of pat underscore num comma s. Now you see how many numbers we're getting. The first number we're getting is December 08, that 8, and then you see the hour, minute, and seconds. All of these are split into separate numbers, and finally the year is a separate number as well. Okay, now let's say that I don't want these particular numbers because they are ending in a colon. So I don't want these numbers for some reason, isn't it? Okay, let's say I want numbers that only end with a white space character. Okay, I want numbers to end with a white space character. So what I say is, so how can I modify this? I have to indicate a white space character here. So how do I indicate a white space character? Backslash, backslash small s. We can use backslash small s. Okay. And now I say re dot find all of pat underscore num comma s. Now let's see what happens. Okay. So now you see this 08 has been trapped. Okay. And this 01 has been trapped because you have a space here. But 2020 is not obtained because you have the end of the string. Okay. So now let's say that I don't want the 01 either because it's not, again, it's a continuation of this time. So in order to identify these numbers, it should begin with the space and end with the space. Only then it's a proper number. So then again, I have to modify the pattern. So how do I give the pattern now? I just put a space in the beginning, small s in the beginning, and then a number, and then again ending with a space. Now let's see what happens. Now you see I get only the 08. Only the 08 is being returned. Okay. So I can do all this. Okay. So now let's go back to our slides. So we are able to get this find all. Okay. So we want to fine tune the string extraction. Let's see what we want to do. All right. So we want to only match from, not the email address anywhere else. So I can say from and then give this, and that will be even better. Okay. So if I have a long email file, then I want only the email addresses in the from line, not any other email address. So I can give this as this, and to extract the email alone, I can put it within parentheses. So let's see this in operation. So I'll say pat underscore true. Okay. Now how do I construct this pattern? It has to begin with from. So I say a caret symbol and then from, and then we also have a colon here. And then what I say is some non-white space characters. Okay. You see the white space should be given here. It is essential so that it starts matching from the non-white space characters. There's only one white space between the from colon and the next word. So that one white space is given here and will be matched. So non-white space is capital S, backslash capital S, at least once, followed by @ symbol, and then again backslash capital S, at least once. It's the same pattern as we have here. Now we want only the email address to be returned, not the entire pattern. So therefore we can group this. And how do we group it? By using parentheses. So this is where parentheses are used, and we'll see this in operation. So this is what we have, and let's close the pattern here. So now what we do is we say re.find all, okay, of pat underscore true, and we search in the string, and let's see what happens here. And you see the parenthesis is what is returned. Find all will give us the pattern that is matched within the parenthesis. So I can be very specific in what I'm searching for, enforcing that the pattern searches only in the from address, and then from that particular match, I can extract the pattern of interest alone by putting a parenthesis. Okay, so this is how the find all function works. Okay, now apart from the find all, we have the re.search, and let's see the re.search in operation. Okay, so now let's say re.search. Okay, re.search. Let's go back to the first pattern that we used, and this is what we did. And let's see the use of re.search on the first pattern, pat comma s. And you see what it returns. It doesn't return a value, but rather it returns a match object. Okay, and it gives you some additional information about the match object, all these things. But this is a match object, and we're not going to be able to work on this match object. It's like a function object. Okay, so what do we do with the re.search?
Sir, can we iterate over it?
It is not returning an iterator. It's only matching once, but it's returning an object. So what do we do? We just assign it to a variable. We create a new match object. Okay. So what we say is, we say match obj is equal to re.search of pat comma s. Okay. So now if you see match obj, what it is, it tells you it's a match object. Okay. So now what we want to do is, what are the things we can do with this match object? So let's say dir of match object. What are the methods and data that is available with my match object? I want to know. And you see there's so many things that are available for this match object. These are all the methods in the class definition as well as the data in the class definition. Now the things of interest for us are this groups, and span, start, and end. Okay, so let's see how to use these. Okay, and suppose I say match underscore obj dot span. Okay, and you will see it's a method. Okay, so now you say span of, and you say 6, 30. Can anyone tell me what 6, 30 is?
Sir, where it starts and where it ends.
Good. Where it starts and where it ends. And you see it is returning a tuple. It's returning a tuple of start, comma, end position. Okay. So now I just say start. Again, it says this. But if I just start off, it gives me 6 alone. That is the first value alone. And if I say match dot obj, match underscore obj dot end of, it gives me 30 alone. Now, if I want the start position and the end position without using a method, I can just say start pose. There's no start pose, only end pose is there. Okay. All right. So let's say end pose and see what happens. Okay. That is the total length of the string. All right. So that is fine. All right. So if you want to get the span of the match, okay, we use dot span method and it gives a tuple of start position, comma end position. If you want the start position alone, you can say start of, end of, we give you the end position. But we can get the start position from the span of method itself. How do we get that? We can just index the span of method for the first element and that will give the start position. And if you index the span of method for the second element, it gives you the end position. All right. So all these are available to us. Now I want to find out what has exactly matched. So for this, there are a couple of methods, and they are the group and the groups method. Okay. So I say match object dot group, and you see it gives me what is grouped within the first set of parentheses. Okay. So suppose I say. Okay, now you see the group can take a numeric argument. This numeric argument tells us which group we are trying to see. Okay, we have used only one set of parentheses here, but we can construct very complex patterns with multiple matching parentheses, with multiple sets of parentheses. Then each parenthesis becomes a group, and the groups are numbered from left to right. And if you want to extract specific groups in the pattern, it is possible to do so. How do we extract the specific patterns? We specify the group number from left to right, whatever group number that is, we specify that as an argument to the dot group method, and we can extract the individual patterns. Okay, so we'll do examples of that as we go on. Okay, so we can do complicated things with these regular expressions. So group of, by default, if we don't specify the argument, it takes a value of 0. That means we want the first pattern within the parenthesis to be returned. Okay. Now there's also another function called groups, and let's see what this does. Okay. So this is not giving us any value here. Okay. So let's say elbow match underscore obj dot groups. All right. So okay. re.match instance. So it's a match object. So it's an instance of the match class. So that is what is meant here. Okay. So All right, so this groups is not returning anything here, but we'll do an example where the groups return something and I'll explain it during that time. But since we're using the parentheses, we can find it in this manner here. And we can extract what is within the parentheses using group of 0 or group of. We have multiple parentheses, all that can be obtained as well. So let's construct something like a multiple parentheses. And let's do this. And let's say, what is the pattern 2 that we have? So let's try to extract both the email address as well as the numbers. Okay. Now, how do I extract the numbers from here? Let's continue the expression. How can I extract some numbers? Now it has to match any character. I'll put a dot and start. Then it has to match a number. I'll say 0 to 9, and then I'll say plus. Okay. And what we will do is we will put this within parentheses, and we'll also put this within parentheses because there are multiple numbers. Okay. So let us see what happens now. And let's say this is pattern 3. So I'm continuing from the email address. Then I want to trap some numbers. So there are some any arbitrary characters that precede the number. So I say dot start. That is any character, any number of times. But then it goes to a number, and the number can be like one character or more number of numbers. So this number is now trapped within a parenthesis. And then once one number is obtained, then again, you can go to another any character any number of times and try to trap another number. Okay, you think about it. Now let's see how this actually operates in practice. So now what we do is we say re.find all of okay, pat3, comma s, and you see what we are getting here. Okay, so it is just one match, and the one match is given as a tuple here. Okay, so for every match that is matched by find all, it returns a tuple. Now here it did not return a tuple. If you see, find all did not return a tuple because this entire match consists of only one element. So it just puts it within the list. But usually if we have a text file and then multiple matches will be found, then each match of the entire pattern is given as a tuple. Okay, it's given as a list of tuples. Within the tuple are the individual matches that are specified by the parenthesis. So here we have a parenthesis for the email address, and the email address is the first element. Then we have a number. Okay, and so therefore this number is entirely given. So any set of characters till 2020 is given. You see, it is not stopping at the 08, but it has gone till the 2020. Can anyone tell me why? Or how can I make it stop at the 08? Because the 08 also matches this pattern, but it has gone till 2020, till the end of the string. Can anyone tell me why it has gone till 2020? Or how can I make it match till 08 alone? And this can be separately matched as another match.
Sir, I think we should put slash s after the number, the 0 to 9.
We can try that because the 2020 does not have that, and this will not be matched. Only this will be matched. Okay, so let's try that. So you see the 2020 is not matched. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to match till 08, and we also want to match this as a separate number. Okay, so now what is happening is this matching is happening in a greedy fashion. So that is why it is going till 2020 and not stopping at 08. Now, if I want to enforce a non-greedy matching, what we can in fact do is, what shall we do here? To do a non-greedy match,
Question mark, sir.
question mark. So I put a question mark after the plus sign, specifying that the number must be matched in a non-greedy fashion. So now again I do RE dot find all. Oops. Right. The question mark here as well. Oh, it's just matching this one alone. All right. Okay. See, okay. This has to be matched in a non-greedy way. So it is this number that we have here that has to be matched in a non-greedy way. So let's see how this works. Is matched. All right, so there are some intricacies to the matching here. So when I put the plus sign, it's just stopping with the first number alone. So I must have as many numbers, but without the white space. Okay. So all right, so let's not get into that complication. Okay, we have a lot more things to do, but I'll try to clarify that. Okay, there is some non-greedy matching that is happening, but not exactly what we want. Okay, so I'll go over that, but we have a lot more stuff to do now, so I'm going to skip this. All right, so you see, we can use the find all, and what the find all does is it gives you all the matches. Every set of parentheses, what it has matched is being returned. Okay, but the full pattern will not be returned. Now, instead of doing that, let's say we want to basically do a re.search. So we'll say match object is equal to re.search of pat underscore 3 comma s. Okay. Now with this match object, let's see what we can do. Okay. So now if we do a match underscore obj dot span of is the whole string that is being matched. Okay, because we say from and till the end it's being matched, so whole string is being matched. But when we say match underscore obj dot span or dot group, and we say first group of 0, you get the entire match. Now I want to get what is there within the first parenthesis, so I say group 1, and it gives me Apollonia, this email address alone. Suppose I want to get what is there in the second set of parentheses, that is what is here, then I say group of 2, and I get the second match alone. Okay. So you see, using the group of gives me the entire match and also the individual parentheses. But when you use find all, there is no way to recover the full match. Okay, so find all is sort of a list of tuples of matches, and it is useful for some quick analysis. But if we want all the information, then we have to do a re.search and get the match object, and this match object will contain all the information we need about the patterns in our text. And for every matching pattern, it gives you the full match, and we can also retrieve the individual groups. Okay, group of 0 will give you the full match, and there's another way to see the group of 0, and we just say match underscore obj dot group of, and again it gives you the full thing. Now suppose we were to say groups of, it gives you what the find all will give you. Whatever is given by the find all, that is being returned here by the groups. All right. So these are two ways by which we can query the text with our patterns. Okay, so we see that we have seen these two functions, and we've also seen some nuances about how to construct the patterns. Okay, so let's go back to our text and do a little bit more before we come back to our session. So this is what we have done. We have enclosed the email address within parentheses, and we have seen how to work with the parentheses. All right. So now let's see, if you were to do this using the string method, you can do a find on the @ symbol and find some position for it. And similarly, you can find a position for the spaces, and then you can try to slice the string from the spaces, from the @ to the spaces. But you know, this is like, there's a lot of danger here, because the @ can come anywhere in your text. It may not be like how we specify an email address, isn't it? Like a \S @\S. That has one meaning. If you just search for @, it may occur anywhere in the text, and we may get some false pattern matches. We may get some false matches. And again, when you search for the space is everywhere, so you won't be slicing the string properly. So obviously, this is not a method that is going to work for searching with patterns. So the string methods only offer us so much. So we really have to rely. We have to rely on the regular expressions. All right. So we can also extract a host name. Okay. And using the regular expressions. So suppose I want, this is called the host name. So this is the entire email address. But what I have here, scbt.sastra.edu, is called the host name. Okay. So now, how do I extract the host name from this? Oops. So any ideas, anyone? How do I extract the host name? So let's come back to our script. So what I want to do is extract only the host name. So any ideas, anyone? How I can create the pattern for that? After the @ symbol, again I put another parenthesis. Okay. So let's put a parenthesis here, and let's see if the host name is being extracted. So now I say re.find out of. So now you see the first parenthesis from left to right, that is the full email address. The second parenthesis, which is nested inside this, it is the second element, scbt.sastra.edu, and you see this has been extracted. Okay, and I also get the third pattern match here. Okay, so similarly, I can do this using a match object, and I say is equal to re.search. Okay, now how do I extract the host name from this match object? Anyone?
Group of one.
Very good. Group of? Is it group of one or what?
Group of two, sir.
Group of two. Okay, it is group of two. Group of 0 will give us the full get. Okay. And group of 1 will give us the email address, because that is the first one from the left. Okay, the full email address. And this will give, group of 2 will give us the host name. Okay, and you can also see it from here, from the find all. The first one is the email, and the second one is the host name. All right. So excellent. So we are making a lot of progress. So we can extract the host name as well. Okay. So if you were to do this using string, how will you do this? First, you want to split the text on the spaces. Then you will get this email address. Then once you have the email address, you can split the email address on the @ symbol, and again you can do it. Okay. So let's try to do it using string method. Just to illustrate, using regular expressions, using strings. And of course, there will be a lot of problems when you do it strings. You may get a lot of false matches. We're not even talking about that. But we'll just see one possibility that we can do this using string methods. So how do we do it using string methods? We say s dot split on white space. and you get all these elements. So we say email is equal to s dot split off on the white space, and the email address is the second element, that is 1. So now if you say email, we have this. Now you can say email dot split, and with split it on the @ symbol. And when you split it on the @ symbol, the host is the second element. So we can say host is equal to email dot split on the @, and it's the second element. Okay, and now if you say host, we have the same thing. Okay, but of course, when you're processing lots of text, the RE will do it automatically for us. Okay, and when you do it using strings, there'll be a lot of false matches, because in RE we are enforcing all these things. It has to start from, and then this is the exact pattern, and there should be all these now. So a lot of different conditions we are specifying. So we are searching exactly for a line that begins with from. Okay, and this is not possible using strings at all. And when we want to do our task well, there's no point in doing getting a lot of false matches. So string methods are useless. Okay, for these tasks. Okay, so we're just illustrating that yes, we can apply some thinking and do some basic work, but the real tool for this job is using the regular expressions. Okay. All right, so this is what is illustrated in the if you use using a string. So now we can do this using regular expressions a little bit differently. Instead of saying \S for the space, we can use a different pattern. And let's try this pattern. So you see that here our pattern 3 is using a \S for the \S for non-white space. Instead of that, we can use what are the allowed characters. I can invert the sense, and I can put a space here, and I can say anything but a space is allowed here. Okay, and then I do a plus of that, and let's see what happens. And now I say RA.find all of pat_3, s, and you see I get the same thing. So there are many different ways of specifying the same pattern. Okay, either you can use \S to signify a non-white space, or I can put the set of allowed characters. I can invert the sense and put a white space here. So again, it means non-white space. Okay, but this non-white space will allow tab and new line. Okay, this format will allow tab and new line, whereas this one will not allow space nor tab nor new line. Okay, so that is the only minor difference. All right. So okay, so let's proceed. And so match non-blank character and many of them, but star means 0 or more times, so it does not enforce at least one character. So we have to use a plus sign. All right. So now by putting a parenthesis, we say we extract whatever is there that matches the @ symbol. Okay, till it hits a white space. All right. So so let's deconstruct this pattern again. So caret symbol means starting at the beginning of the line. So look, and from means look for the string from. Okay, at the beginning of the line you should have a from. Okay, and then there's a space, and then you have a dot, any character, any number of times, followed by a @ symbol, and then we have a non-white space character at least 0 or more times, and this we are trying to extract using a parenthesis. All right, so this is going to work. And so basically by dot and star, any character any number of times, you're skipping a bunch of characters. So whenever you want to skip a bunch of characters, we just say dot and star. So the dot signifies any character except dot itself. Okay, so it signifies any and a new line. Okay, so dot does not match two characters. One is dot itself, and secondly, a new line. A new line is not matched by the dot. Okay, now, so when you say dot, it means any character, and star means any number of times. So any character, any number of times. It can be, you're just trying to skip a bunch of characters. So you think about it. Whenever you want to skip a bunch of characters, you use dot star. Okay. Now you're looking for actual @. This is not a meta character. This is the actual character. And then now you're grouping by using parentheses. Now, if you want to match a parenthesis in your text How will you do that? So let's say my string 2 is equal to something and parenthesis, and I have something else, and then parenthesis, and like this. Now, suppose I want to match the parenthesis. What is there within the parenthesis here? How will I do that? Anyone has any ideas? How will I match the parenthesis itself? Because the parenthesis is a meta character. So how can I match a parenthesis in the string?
Backslash, sir. Using a
Backslash. I have to escape. I have to escape the special meaning of the parenthesis. So excellent. So we have to use the backslash. So what I say is backslash parenthesis and then some bunch of characters dot start. Then again I want to use a close parenthesis. So again I use a backslash. So I use a backslash close parenthesis. Okay. So let's see how this works. So let's see the compare this with a raw pattern where we don't use this parenthesis. We just say some parenthesis dot start. Okay. So so this is what we have. So now what we do is we say re.find all of pat underscore raw comma s2, and you see the whole string is being returned because this is just parenthesis, the grouping character, and what you want to match is a dot start, so it matches greedily from start to end. Everything is a some character, any number of times, so the whole string is matched. So the parentheses play no role here. So what we really want to do is we want to extract what is there within the parentheses in the original string. So now you see the pat new, which actually specifies the parentheses. So that is being matched. Okay. Now suppose I want to get only what is within the parentheses, not the parentheses itself. So then how can I modify the pat new? Anyone? I only want to get the substring within the parenthesis.
Parenthesis.
I put the dot star within parenthesis. Excellent. So I just now use the parenthesis as a meta character. So now I have this pattern, and now I say re.find all of this, and you see I get exactly what is there within the parenthesis. Okay. All right. So there's so many things you can explore with this. I'm just using one example, and there's so many variations on this one example, isn't it? So only when we do this, we really understand the behavior of these regex patterns. All right. So dot star is basically used to skip a bunch of characters. All right. So and all these different things. And by specifying parentheses, I'm saying start extracting and match a non-blank character, many of them, and then stop extracting here. All right. So all right. So that should be very clear. Okay. Now we are close to the end of the at least the theory slides. Okay, so here I want to find out, this was the original problem we had. We were looking at the email header and we want to find the confidence of the spam level of this email header. So all of our emails, whether you know it or not, automatically they are scanned for whether it's a spam email or not. And sometimes if it's spam, it is taken to the junk folder. And you can find, if you have if you have ever looked in your junk, you'll find all the spam emails. How does it go to the junk? Because there is a spam filter and there is a spam score. Based on the confidence level, it is assigned to the spam. If you want to find this a confidence level for all our emails, there is this email header that is called xdspam confidence, and we want to get this value alone. So how do we get the value? We want to extract the value, so you put it within a parenthesis. So it has to start with the xdspam confidence, and this value I put within a parenthesis. And what is the value? It is 0 to 9, but it may also contain a decimal point. It's usually 0.05 or 0. From 0 to 1. So therefore, we put the decimal point as also a allowed character, and then we'd say at least one of the digits or the decimal point. Okay, and this we are trapping, and then we are finding this in our line, and therefore then we have the the confidence score. Now, what we can do is we can find out what is the maximum confidence of any email in our inbox. And for that, what we do is we just append all these confidence values into a list. So we say stuff is equal to some variable is equal to these particular values, isn't it? Okay, only one value is being trapped, and this find all will return a list of one element. So that is now there in my stuff. So now what I do is we just take the one element in the stuff and we assign it to num, and that num we append to a num list. And now the num list contains all the confidence scores. So once you're done with the processing, come outside the loop and you say max of num list. So that will give you the maximum confidence level that is there in your emails. Is that clear to everyone? So we process every line in our email file. We first find out whether there is a find all hit at all. If the stuff has at least one element, it goes to the next line. If the length of stuff is 0, it skips these lines because many lines will not be header lines or like this DSPAM confidence lines. So only those lines where there's a match, you go to the stuff and then you extract the value. Stuff is the list, so you only want the element alone. So you say stuff of 0 and you append it to a growing list of confidence scores. Like that, you process all the lines in the email file. Finally, you can find the maximum score by saying max of num list. So you can integrate the regex with some actual analysis that we want to do in our work. And this is how we do this. Okay, these are the uses of the regex. They are used very frequently in data science. Okay, whatever the domain, be it any sort of data science. Okay, including like robotic automation and big data biology. Okay, in all computing. Okay, so in all computing, it's a very major part. This regex, I don't have to say anything about its data science part because this is the essence of most of the data science. So a lot of pre-processing is done in this fashion. Okay, so is this example clear how we integrate the regex into a program? For example, we do another bigger program, okay, and we'll do it like tomorrow or day after, depending upon how much progress we are making. All right. So is this somewhat clear to you? Any questions, anyone? Anyone has any questions? All right, so this will become clearer as we do another example. Okay, is how we integrate the regular expression into our programming itself. All right, so this is just again what we did. There are a lot more of these characters, and I will introduce some of these characters now. Okay, and let us just remark that whether when we want to escape the meaning of these meta characters, for example, dollar is matches the end of the line, and if you want to actually match a dollar, we have to put a backslash dollar. Then it will match this $10 here, isn't it? Okay, and this $10 will be matched when you escape it. And we've already seen this in our examples where we escape the parentheses as well, isn't it? So many things we have escaped. So therefore, the escape character is the backslash, and when you want to escape the meaning of the meta character, we prefix the meta character with the backslash, and that's all. There's another way to escape the special meaning. We can just put them within the square brackets. So whatever is there in the square brackets is not a meta character, it is the character themselves. So in that way, if you use a dot here, you would have seen this here, isn't it? We used a dot, and this dot outside the square brackets will mean any character, but within the square brackets, it means only a dot. So we can also put them within square brackets to escape their special meaning. So that's another way to do it. All right. So now let's go back. I want to introduce some more of these characters and do some examples as well. So let's make use of the another 15 minutes that we have. All right, so now when I specify just A in my regex, so let's just talk about the patterns alone now. Okay, so you see now you might have realized that pattern construction is a very important task. It involves some logic as well and it's a separate skill. Now, after we are proficient, we are skillful in constructing the patterns, we can then integrate the patterns into our programming itself that we want to solve for some problems. All right, so let's talk about patterns more. And in the pattern, if I have a A, it means the A character. If I say AB, it means the AB string. Now, pipe is another character. When I say A pipe B, it means OR. Okay, so the pipe symbol means OR. Okay, so now here we have a new meta character. That is the pipe symbol. The pipe symbol is also a meta character. It is used for R. When you have two characters and either of the characters can occur in the position, then we use a pipe symbol. Okay, so we are giving a choice between two. Okay, either this or that. So therefore, we can use the pipe symbol. There are also some quantifiers and regex. We've already seen some of the quantifiers. Dot is any character, but the quantifiers are star. Star means 0 or more times the preceding character. Plus is 1 or more times. Now, we can be very specific about these quantifiers by using the angular braces. And the general construction of the angular braces is, we just say angular braces m comma n. That means the preceding character should appear at least m times, but not more than n times. So m means at least m, n means maximum n times. Suppose we leave the second argument blank, it means at least m times. There is no limit to actually how many times it can occur. Suppose we leave the first argument blank and we only specify n, that means it can occur up to a maximum of n times. There's no minimum number of times. Okay, so these are all possible variations on how we specify the angular braces. Okay, so what we see here is another character that we can use in our tools for the regex. That is the angular braces m comma n, and whatever is here, it's just like plus and star. Whatever character that is appearing here, m comma n means this preceding character occurs at least m times, but not more than n times. All right. Okay. So we have seen the pipe symbol now, and we have seen the angular braces, and these are all the quantifiers. Now, apart from the quantifier, there are something known as special sequences. Okay. So they're called special sequences, and we've already seen some of these special sequences. That is the backslash small s and backslash capital S. Small s is any white space character, that is space, tab, and new line. So these are the three white space characters. And capital S is non-white space character. That is, except for these three characters, anything will be matched. So just capitalization is imparting the meaning. Now similarly, backslash small d means any digit. And if you use capital D, it means any non-digit. Okay. And similarly, if we use backslash small w, it means any word character. So any word character is alphanumeric. Okay. Can be either letter or number. That is basically A to Z, capital A to Z, and 0 to 9. So this is basically a shorthand for this entire set. For this particular construction, this is a shorthand. Any non-word character, that is non-alphanumeric, is just backslash capital W. So this is all the special characters, space, all these different things. Okay, so all these are here in non-word characters. So we can match white space or non-white space. We can match digit or non-digit. We can match word or non-word. Okay. Now set of allowed characters we have already seen. Hyphen can be used to specify a range within the square brackets. And caret symbol inverts the sense. So if you say 0 to 9 caret, it means non-digit. So you see non-digit is nothing but this particular construction. So this construction is what is non-digit. So these are all alternative ways. So whatever you are more comfortable with in thinking about, you can use it. Okay, and as you keep using it, you'll prefer one over the other. But it's good to know that both options exist. Okay, so like this, they can also use a hyphen for partial ranges. So instead of A to Z, you can say B to Z. Then A alone is omitted there. So we can use partial ranges as well. All right. Okay. Now position indicators we have already seen. So caret for the start of the line and dollar for the end of the line. All right. Now let's see some examples of how these things are being used. Okay. So and we have another 5 minutes, and let's hope we can finish this as well. And tomorrow we can move on to some programs as well. Okay. So let's say now my pattern is AB star. Okay. Now when I say my pattern is AB star, what do you think? Which all here will be matched? So I have given 4 examples here. Which all patterns here will be matched by AB star?
Sir, 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3.
3.
Now even 4 will be matched because this is the AB star and this is also AB. Now how about A? Will A be matched?
Yes, sir.
A will be matched. Good. Because star means B should occur 0 or more times. Preceding character 0 or more times. So therefore, in A, B is occurring how many times?
0 times.
0 times. Okay. So B is occurring exactly 0 times when I say A. So therefore it matches the pattern because the pattern says B should occur 0 or more times. Okay. Now suppose I say AB star. Okay. All right. So it says AB star. And all right. So what all do you think will match here?
Only the last AB, sir. AB.
Only the last, because this is occurring 0 times. But even here, AB is occurring 1 time.
Yes,
Isn't
sir.
it?
AB.
AB is occurring 1 time. Now let's say I say I say something like this. Now what will happen? Now how many matches will be there? Okay, so this is the question. My pattern is this. Now how many matches will be there? Now when I put it within parentheses, what is the meaning? How is it? How is the pattern interpreted? When I say star, it means this entire thing has to be repeated 0 or more times. The preceding character is this entire bunch. That is the effect of the parenthesis. All right. So now can anyone tell me what all is being matched here?
Sir, 7, sir. 7 times it will match.
7.
First, yes, sir. First AB.
No, just these 3 examples. Yeah, 5 examples. We have 6 examples. Tell me
Yes,
which
sir.
among the 6 examples. Yeah.
First AB.
First AB is
AB.
matched.
Second AB.
Second AB. Yeah. Okay.
Then third AB. Fourth A.
Fourth A.
Yes, sir. AB occurrence is not there, 0. But still A is there, no, sir, outside parenthesis.
You mean the last one?
No, sir. In the fourth example, A,
This one.
B is there. In that it will match only A.
It will match only A.
And one AB. In between one AB is there.
This one.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you mean it will match like this?
Yes, sir.
See, the pattern has to be continuous. It cannot jump. So it will only match this. It will match this. Correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A, AB.
Okay. Now, will it match this?
Sir, only AB, sir, because it is inside parenthesis. Am I right, sir?
No. It will not match only AB. See, the pattern is one pattern. Only if the entire pattern matches, okay, the AB is also matched. And then we can extract the AB. But the pattern entirely has to be matched. This is the one, this is the pattern we are specifying. You're able to follow. This is our pattern. The pattern should entirely match something in the string.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So,
And
sir,
the
so that
parenthesis
means,
is only,
sir, so that means, like we parenthesis means inside whatever is there, specifically that. Am I right, sir?
yeah.
So outside
Parenthesis is, outside
so outside
parenthesis.
parenthesis means here outside we have a outside parenthesis. So we are trying to look something which has both specifically a b with an a. Am I right, sir?
Yeah, correct.
Okay,
So
sir.
it must start with A and then it must have AB 0 or more times. So here, this will not work. This will fail. Because after the A, there is no AB. Again, A is here, but there is no AB. So these two will not match. This will also,
Not much, sir, because it is
not match.
yes, sir,
But this
not
will
much.
match because you have a A and then you have a
A
AB.
and
So
AB.
this will match.
Fourth and fifth will match.
Fourth and fifth will match. Now, sixth will also match because in the sixth, AB is occurring.
Starting is there a, but a b parenthesis it can be 0 or 1 occurrence.
Yeah. Okay, so it's occurring 0 times, so A will also be matched. All right. Okay, good.
Got
So you see, yeah. All right. Now, all right. So now, if you want to exclude this A and all those things, then what we have to do is you have to say at least once it has to appear. You say it has to appear only once, at least once. Then these hits will be eliminated. These matches will be eliminated. Okay, so that is the instruction given here. One last example is, let's say the pattern is this. I say C, and then the second character can be either A or B. Okay, and this A or B can be repeated any number of times, or even 0 times. But the last character has to be T. Okay, so now which all among these examples will match this particular pattern? That is what we have to find out. I will give this as a homework. I'll post the materials. You do this and come tomorrow, analyze, and then we'll continue tomorrow. All right? So you think about all the examples we have done. Okay, so this particular example is what the last one we will discuss, and we'll again begin with this example tomorrow. Okay, go over this example and come for the class tomorrow. We'll continue our explorations tomorrow. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So do go over the regular expressions. So as you may see, the regular expressions are a